So we are out on the back deck today making our winter bee food that we feed them in the winter. Their winter candy. And so you'll have to excuse my voice. I just am losing my voice a little bit, but that's okay. I'm alright. It's just my voice. So I'm going to share with you the recipe that we use for our winter bee food. So first we are on our outdoor cooker, our propane cooker. They works the best if you use a propane cooker than electric. Goes faster. So we have 12 ounces. I measured 12 ounces of water in there and I put it in here. Let it boil for a minute. And also we will put the recipe on the description of the video so you don't have to remember what I'm saying. So 12 ounces of water. Now it's starting to boil around the sides. So now we have 4 pounds of sugar, which is 8 cups, and we're going to put it into the water in thirds. So first third. And we're going to stir it. Let it dissolve. Use a whisk. That works the best. Okay, so that's pretty dissolved, so now we're going to let it boil up before I add the second third. So you can watch it. So see, it's starting to boil around the sides, so now we'll do our second third. Okay, we'll whisk it up. Now you might ask, why do we give them this food in the winter instead of their liquid food? Well, liquid food would freeze and bust in the winter, right? They can't eat liquid food in the winter. So it's getting cold here in Iowa, which is November, the middle of November. So we have to be prepared. We're ready to, in a couple days, give this to them. Okay, so we're going to let this boil up again before we do the last third. Also, the reason that you feed this in the winter instead of liquid food is that they will not have to take cleansing flights with this instead of their liquid food. So then they're able to stay inside to stay warm without having to go outside and do a cleansing flight. So definitely you want to give them the winter candy board instead of liquid food. Okay, so it's boiling up. Now we'll do the last third. And we'll stir it up. This doesn't take very long at all. Once we get to the end, you'll notice it wasn't very long at all to make these. We had to make 11, we have 11 hives, but we're making more because we will have some extra, to switch out quickly without having to make more, because you'll have to make them throughout the winter too, of course. they won't be, you know what I mean? So we like to make extras up in the beginning, and then we will make more in the winter as well as they need it. But so we had a lot to make, so it's been taking a while, but individually they don't take very long to make one of them. So if you don't have many hives, then it won't take very long. You don't need a lot of ingredients, as you can tell. Okay, so I'm going to let this boil up again with the thermometer now. So now you have to have a thermometer or a candy thermometer. And we have to get this to 250 degrees is what you want to get it to. Once it gets to 250 degrees, it can only be cooking at 250 degrees for 1 minute. No more than 1 minute or it will not set. So you must pay attention. And also what's going to happen is we're going to add 2 more little ingredients once it hits the 250 degree mark. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it get to 250 degrees. Then I'm going to get my first ingredient to add. I'm going to dump that. Then I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to dump my second one. And then stir it, because that will be about a minute by the time I get the first ingredient. So look, it's almost there. Okay, and you just want to stir it a little bit throughout this process so it doesn't set up. We're getting close to 250. So I'm just stirring it a little bit around. Okay, now I'm going to stop. And I'm going to start getting my first ingredient. Okay. Okay, now we're almost there. I gotta stand in front of it so I can see. Okay, so our first ingredient that we're adding to this is the bee pollen, the pollen powder. We do a heaping half teaspoon, okay? 1 heaping half teaspoon of pollen powder. Almost. We're almost there. Okay, so now we're going to dump this. I'm going to turn off the heat. And I'm going to get my Honeybee Healthy. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. Which would be 2 half teaspoons, of course. And then we're going to stir it until it stops foaming up and that all gets in there good. Like so. It's not really foaming. That's a good sign. And now we're going to pour it into our bee boxes that we made. Check out my other video and you can see me making the boxes. And now we're going to pour it on these bee boxes. And look how nice and pretty. Put the bee boxes on as best of a flat level area that you can. When you pour this, remember it's very hot. So don't touch it, of course, till it cools down. And yeah, if you watched my other video on my channel, we just did that last night. So you're not going to have to look back a whole bunch. It's not going to be hard for you to find it. And you'll see us making these boxes right here that we put this in. It's very, very easy. Doesn't cost a lot of money. Very simple, very quick, very efficient for the bees for winter. Helps them in more than one way. And this is their food for the winter. Okay, so now really quick I want to show you the ones that we did earlier today. It doesn't take that long to harden up, but this is what it's going to be like when it hardens up. See, it's hard candy. So this is the winter bee food that your bees need to be successful to, make it through the winter. So this is going to be good for them. It's also, if you check my other video when we built these boxes, you'll see the other tip and trick with these boxes that helps the bees in the winter as well. And so there's another trick in there, and where we got this idea from was from learning from David Burns. He's a really great beekeeper, and he has a YouTube channel as well. And so we have learned so much from him, and he has helped us so much with our bees. It's amazing. So that's where we got this idea from. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you like it. And I really hope that you get to do this if you do have bees, and I hope that your bees will make it through the winter. And just remember that God is always helping all the good in our lives. Bye.